Hello, this is Steve with McCardle Wright, and today I want to talk about email marketing for real estate agents. Now you'll see there's a date here that shows you that this is actually a blog, and I'm going to include a link to this blog so you can access all the details in writing and access the links as well if you need to. So I encourage you to check that out if that would be helpful. But I know that a lot of people like to watch things on video, so I wanted to talk with you one-on-one here. Now, this topic of email marketing is really important because what happens if somebody is looking for real estate in the area? Generally, they're going to go onto the search engines, and those results are going to bring up agencies rather than agents unless you've gotten aggressive as an agent and built your own website, smartphone app, those sorts of things that are actually very powerful. I've listed a couple of things here that can be helpful for you as an independent if you want. Those are services you can check out from me if you need a hand with any of that. But today we're going to focus on the email marketing, because what happens is that if you do email marketing, although in my opinion it does not eliminate the need for a website or a smartphone app, it doesn't eliminate the other marketing things you should be doing or could be doing. It really depends on how much you want to build business in your area versus other people. Are you doing this as a side thing, or are you doing this as a focused business? But email marketing is something that can be, it's very low cost and can give you consistent business even without some of those other options. So I wanted to talk about that with you. And in fact, by the way, it's only about $20 a month to have an email marketing service. So it's not about the cost. It's just about, will you use that? And that's what we're going to talk about here, is how you can do that. So first of all, how would you use email marketing? Let's say you have a big list. And we'll talk about building a list in a moment, but let's say you have that list. How would you use it? Well, one agent I know just sends a monthly reminder to people that he exists, and he does this by sharing some sort of tip on life, just something that would be generally useful for anybody to know about, and then he signs off by reminding them how successful he is as a real estate agent and that he's there to help. This is a great thing for you to be doing to stay in people's minds so that when they're ready for an agent, they're thinking about you. Another form of content that I like is the idea of going around and finding local businesses that want to offer exclusive deals to your readers. And people love feeling exclusive. If you can send them out a special offer to a local business, that can really connect you with them. They're getting value from you on an ongoing basis until the time when all of a sudden they want to buy or sell a home. They're ready to contact you because you've already given them value. Now, another way you would want to use it is, of course, to send out your listings. And then another thing is, if you have a website and or a blog, or a website, with a blog on it, and this is a great way to generate ongoing content about, your listings, about, where your open houses are going to be, any sort of news you have, or just your thoughts on the industry, anything that's helpful for people. That's what a blog is all about. And it's really good for search engine purposes. And a good email system can automatically send out your blogs so that once you've hit publish, you don't have to then go and set up an email to send out to people, letting them know that you've published your blog. It'll automatically go out to them. And that's another great way for you to not even have to think about it, but you're staying in touch with all the people on your list. So those are some great ways to use a list. And I wanted to just point this out. Imagine you had built a list of just 500 people in your community. Now, whether that's possible for you or not depends on the community you live in. And you could build a list of thousands of people in your community potentially if you really get aggressive with things. But at 500, if every one of them only moved once every 10 years, you'd still have 50 people per year moving, or about one a week. So what would happen if you got all of them? What would happen if you only got 10% of them? Right? 5 clients per year, I know, is really, really valuable to a real estate agent. And if that's all you got, 5 per year, that would be really, really important to you to have been doing that email marketing. So that's just a glimpse into what this can do for you. So how would you build a list? And we're going to talk about services you can use to build a list in just a moment. But how would you build that list once you have the service, okay? And you want to build towards all of this stuff that I've already talked about as far as what you actually are sending out. So how would you do it? Well, one of the ways is you would build your own real estate website. I've mentioned that and the importance of that. In this case, you would be attempting to attract people to your website to look at your listings, to read your articles, things like that. And of course, you would have a lead capture form on those on that website to try to get people to join up and follow you. Another option would be to have a smartphone app, again, something I've talked about, and you could have an email sign up form right inside that app. Using an interactive image. This is something that I provide. Again, you can check out my services, but you can actually have an image that has things going on inside that people can interact with. And one of the things that they can do from within that image is actually subscribe to your email list. So that's pretty cool. You can also just be in touch with the people on social media, through Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, people who are local to your area, people you know by email, friends, family, whatever. You can invite all of them to join and follow you. You can include an invitation at the end of every newsletter you send so that if one of your subscribers forwards that to somebody else, that other person will see that option to join. You can invite people who are attending your open houses to join your list. You can include it in your email signature. Give them a link to follow so that when they do that, they can join your list. Another thing is to actually prepare a series of emails that goes out over time. Now, this is really powerful in terms of marketing because, as you probably know, it's really useful to be in touch with people several times as they get familiar with you. Eventually, maybe they then want to you generate trust with them over time as you offer more tips, more value to them. And so one of the things you can do to get them onto a list is to say, hey, I've got a series of emails that will give you tips about preparing a home for a sale, right? And now they have an incentive to join your list because they are going to get value out of that. They know that ahead of time. So offering something like that or some other form of value to them, really great way to build that list, all right? Now, another thing to think about is when you are actually sending out emails, one thing to do is to make sure you're including images, really nice looking images that will engage people more than words alone. And so I wanted to show you, here's what we call an animated GIF, okay, or GIF is actually the correct pronunciation. People call it both. But this is an animated GIF. And you can see that when you embed this somewhere, it will just sort of go through the animation over and over. And it is very, very eye-catching, more so than a static image. But you use a static image or you use an animated image like this, either way, it's a great way to flesh out the text that you put into an email. All right. Now, as you can see, this is actually one of my interactive images. Now, this is just a GIF of it, so I can't interact with it here. But you can see what happens when people hover over the icons within this image. That gives you an idea of what those interactive images are like and how they can join your mailing list from within an image or click to call you, etc. Okay, so finally, I have two recommended services we're going to take a quick look at, and I wanted to let you know, if you use my links to join these services, I'm going to do something for you in return. These are affiliate links. What that means is your cost does not go up by clicking on these links, but I receive a little something for the referral. So it's a nice way for me to be able to receive something for sharing this with you. But in return, I want to do something more for you if you do use those links. What I will do is, when you have set up your first mailing list, I will actually go through the process of signing up as if somebody who's going to follow your or subscribe to your list. And I will tell you if there are things you can do to enhance that sign-up process or if I'm having any problems with the sign-up process. So I will be there to help you to make sure it's set up correctly if you use my links, okay? Now, there's a lot of great services out there, and if you come to this blog and then click here, read through this blog, you're going to see why I recommend these two particular services. But for right now, I'm just going to mention what they are. So AWeber is one of them. AWeber is a fantastic service that really gives you everything you could want to use. And if you're really aggressive with your marketing, that may be the one that you want to go with. It is about the same price as RocketResponder, which I'll talk about in a second. It's about the same price, up to 500 people. on your list. And then after that, the prices start going up. That's not a bad problem to have, because those 500 people, or if you went up to 1,000 and now we're paying more, you should be making so much money off of that list. It really isn't going to bother you, okay? So if you're going to be really aggressive with your marketing, AWeber just gives you the ability to connect with just about every other software out there that connects with a mailing list. And it has just all the bells and whistles you could be looking for. On the other hand, it may be a little bit more complex for you to use. If you're looking for something that's just really simple to use, RocketResponder might be a better solution for you. You could go through this information here that I've written down, but basically this is your simple one, and it's a flat $20 a month no matter how large your list ever becomes. So that's, sort of the claim to fame for RocketResponder. AWeber, a little more complex, but it can do just about everything, so highly recommended. That one starts at just $19 a month for up to 500 people. So both are very affordable. You can try AWeber, I believe, for about a month for $1. RocketResponder comes with a free trial for 1 month. So I encourage you to check these out. Sign up for them and start using some of the different things I've shown you here. Start working on sending out this kind of information. Build your list with all these tips I've got here. And remember that you can click on the link with this video to view this blog and to get all the details. Thanks for listening.